50 Cent has never been one to stay quiet, and when the news broke that Big Meech was allegedly reaching out to people for money, he couldn't help but react. The hip-hop mogul, known for his ruthless humor and business acumen, had a few things to say about the situation, and as expected, his response had the internet buzzing. Big Meech, the legendary figure behind BMF, Black Mafia Family, has always been a symbol of power and influence. Even while serving his sentence, his name still holds weight in the streets and in hip-hop culture. But rumors started swirling that he had been hitting people up, asking for financial help. This raised eyebrows, given his history and the way he was once known for his extravagant lifestyle. 50, who has been heavily involved in telling the BMF story through his hit TV series, wasted no time reacting. He hopped on social media and, in true 50 Cent fashion, made a comment that was both cutting and hilarious. Damn, first they wanted Meech free, now he calling for favors? Y'all better pick a side, he wrote, followed by a few laughing emojis. Fans immediately started debating whether 50 was being petty or if he was just keeping it real. Some felt like he was taking an unnecessary jab at Meech, while others believed he was simply stating facts. After all, the world had been chanting "Free Big Meech" for years, but now that he needed help, people were suddenly quiet. But the situation was deeper than just a few Instagram jokes. It raised a serious question about loyalty in the game. When Meech was at the top, everyone wanted to be around him. But now that he was locked up, struggling financially, where were all those people who once benefited from his success? Meanwhile, another major story was shaking up the hip-hop world. Jess Hilarious, who had been co-hosting The Breakfast Club, decided to air out some behind-the-scenes drama about Charlamagne Tha God. And she wasn't holding back. For a while now, people had been noticing some tension between Charlamagne and Jess. It wasn't always obvious, but there were moments on air where you could tell something was off. At first, fans thought it was just their different styles clashing, Charlamagne being the calculated instigator and Jess being the loud, unfiltered comedian. But now, it seemed there was more to the story. Jess took to social media and started letting loose. "Y'all don't even know the half of what goes on behind the mics," she said in a video. "Charlamagne got this whole image like he the realest one out here. But let's be clear, he picks and chooses who he want to be real with." The internet went wild. People had always speculated that Charlamagne had favorites, that he treated certain guests differently based on who they were. But coming from someone who worked with him directly, it hit differently. Jess didn't stop there. She hinted that Charlamagne was part of the reason certain celebrities avoided The Breakfast Club altogether. "It's funny how some people don't even want to come up there no more. Y'all ever think about why that is?" she said. Fans immediately started speculating. Was she talking about certain rappers? Industry figures? The fact that big names like Jay-Z and Beyoncé never sat down with The Breakfast Club had always been a topic of discussion. Was there something deeper to it? Charlamagne didn't respond directly, but he did post a cryptic message on his Instagram. Everybody got a story until they got to tell it under oath. It was classic Charlamagne. Never one to engage in direct online back and forths, but always making sure his presence was felt. As the drama unfolded, people started choosing sides. Some backed Jess, saying she was just speaking her truth. Others felt like she was being ungrateful, considering Charlamagne had given her a platform. But one thing was clear, something had definitely been brewing behind the scenes. While all this was happening, the conversation about Big Meech continued to gain traction. People started debating whether or not it was even true that he was reaching out for money. Some said it was just another internet rumor, while others claimed they had proof. One thing that made the story believable was the fact that many former street legends had faced financial struggles after being locked up. The lifestyle that once seemed endless had a way of disappearing quickly when legal troubles came into play. And the harsh reality was that once the money stopped flowing, so did a lot of the so-called friends. It also made people reflect on the bigger picture. The industry was filled with stories of people who were once at the top, only to find themselves abandoned when things went south. Whether it was former drug kingpins, rappers, or executives, the pattern was always the same. 50 Cent, being the businessman he is, understood this better than anyone. That's why, even though he joked about the situation, he also made a solid point. Everybody love you when you up. It's when you down that you see who really got your back, he said in a follow-up post. As the internet continued to dissect both stories, Big Meech's alleged financial troubles and Jess Hilarious calling out Charlamagne, it became clear that these weren't just random incidents. They were reflections of deeper issues within the hip-hop world. Loyalty, power, and influence. These are the things that truly dictate who survives in this game. And as we've seen time and time again, it's never about what you did when you were winning. It's about what happens when the tables turn.